Hey, y'all, watch this.
Welcome to another episode of the Jersey String Band podcast. I'm your host, Alex Walton. We got co-host
Captain Pat Walton.
And our very special guest today is
Dr. Kelliann Gallagher.
Hold on. Captain.
There you go, Captain Kelly.
Captain.
Dr. Captain, as the crew calls me sometimes. Captain, Doctor.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. So, welcome.
Thank you guys so much for having me on. This is awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah, we're excited to have you.
Relax.
Let's go. Let's talk. I don't get to talk about Mommer stuff at home too much, so whenever I can talk about it, I'm excited.
Awesome.
Well, we'll give you that opportunity here. Let's talk about the 2025 effort that Hegeman put out this year. Just explain it and, how you feel about how it turned out and how the band executed.
Oh, I am I don't know if you saw the interview or not, but I spoke from my heart, for the interview, and I'm so proud of Hegeman this year. We really came back from about 12 people, and I'm not talking about in July. This is September going into October. We were wondering if we would be able to hit the street, going back and forth, if the theme was too big for us, because we all saw how Wicked blew up. We thought, we were like, oh, it'll be a great theme. And then all of a sudden we were like, oh, it's going to be huge. And it worked out.
Was it always, I don't know your whole theme card. I know you guys were doing, something to that effect. But were you always doing Wicked, or was it more?
Yeah, we did. We were always going to do a version of Wicked. And when we were putting, the committee was putting it together, it was more like, let's make it our version, because we can't really do, this 3-hour Broadway show, in 4.5 minutes. So we were like, let's just make it our version. Give it a little twist give it a little Oz twist, make it fun, make it so people recognize some characters, recognize what's going on, follow the story a little bit, and play to the judges, but also play to the crowd as well. And so pretty much going back to how it developed all year is just going back in July, we lost pretty much our whole percussion section. We were it was a little bit tough there. And then we were building back up, did a lot of recruiting, and just switched the ship to just having a fun time. Let's just have a good time this year. We have nothing to lose. And we had a blast. And I'm just so proud of the team.
Yeah, that's always the best way to go. Just go out there to have fun.
Right.
And where the chips land, the chips land.
Yep. And you guys are very similar with that mindset.
Absolutely, yeah.
100%. I mean, and we know the struggles of, being with, we were both with Bromo, and there was times where we were 12 people short, and it's just okay, it's October. How are we coming up with 12?
Right.
A lot of SOS.
You go, whose cousin, knows this person, that could play.
Come on, you're not going up with somebody. Come with us.
Yeah. And then also getting a lot of newer people involved into the hobby as well, too, which is super important, because if we want it to grow, we have to have new people get involved that might not really know how to get involved.
Yes.
And they're just like, oh, I've always wanted to do that. I'm like, well, where have you been? We've been waiting for you.
Every clubhouse door is open. Just show up.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every single band will take somebody.
Take someone, message them. Now with social media, you can slide into the DMs.
Yeah, people don't realize. It's unfortunate.
Yep.
But we're here to tell you that it's easy as pie to join any one of the bands.
For sure.
Every
preferably
band.
Either one of ours.
Yes. Yeah. If you're in South Jersey, stay in Jersey. If you're South Philadelphia,
come on 2nd Street.
Come on 2nd Street.
Doors are always open.
Yeah, second
and more.
Yeah.
So leading into, or like you just said, gathering new members. How did you get into this?
How did I get into this originally? Oh, it's funny. So my story is a little bit different than a lot of, let's say, a lot of the guys in the association or the other bands, where I didn't grow up in the hobby,
That's us.
Yeah. So it was I was very simple. We have a different mindset of being on the other side of the barricades. What do people want to see? And I got into it, the same story, I hear all the time, I used to rate the bands with my grandmother, and we'd go down the list and watch them. And then after she passed, I ended up joining Hegeman in actually December of 2019. And then they found out I played guitar, and in 3 weeks I learned the drill and was playing banjo.
Yeah.
For the 2020 parade.
Yeah, that's
So
usually
your first parade was our first parade as Jersey.
Yep. So 2020 first parade, and haven't looked back since. Now all in.
All in. Yeah, it's usually I don't play banjo. I play guitar. Well,
Yep.
well, guess what? We picked up a guy who only ever played guitar this year, and now he's learning banjo, and he's pretty good at it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's an easy transition too. You can you string it guitar style pretty much.
Yeah.
Like the first year I strung it guitar style, and then during like that year we had off of the parade, I learned how to play plectrum.
Yep.
So I just switched it, and it's actually easier for me to play plectrum than the guitar style.
Who
Yeah.
taught you?
Self-taught.
Self-taught?
Self-taught. Even playing guitar, I was pretty much self-taught the whole way, and just learning chords. I'm not, the most amazing banjo player, but I can get by.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
I get by.
And have good fun. As long as you have a good smile and you're, strumming along, you're good.
Oh yeah, yeah. You always see when you're out there with a banjo. I mean, the WW event, you're front and center.
That was a blast.
Yeah.
That was so much fun.
Explain your experience, because we've had a few people on here that's been there and they've shared what they experienced.
It was pretty cool. It was a lot of hurry up and wait, which is
what we do.
showbiz, right? And so it was really cool to see it from that perspective.
Yeah.
I had no idea how big the WWE was. I was texting my friend like, "Who's this guy in the bald head that's in charge of everything?" And he was like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "I had no idea." I was like, "Just put me in." But it was really cool from the perspective to walk out on stage through the tunnel, and it's all like encompassed around you, and you're going through, and you have a big mummer hat and banjo coming through, and you get out on stage, and you see people looking up at you, you see people looking down at you, and then everywhere around, and then all of a sudden you just heard that drum beat go, and we went off. It was just like when musicians say they feel the energy from the crowd, you felt that energy from the crowd feeding back on you.
Oh yeah.
What, 71,000 people in that building, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
In the building alone. And then as we're going up, of course, he's one of the security guards was like, "Don't worry, there's only 500 million people watching."
Yeah.
Don't worry. It's more than a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah. Anyhow, 14 captains on the street.
Right.
You're the only female.
Right now, yes.
How is there a pride? What's that feeling like? Is it anything? Is it anything different than?
Oh, I know it is. Oh, trust me, I know it is because I already talked to her at the Christmas
It is
at the Children's Hospital.
It is something that I feel like there is. It's you have more of a mission out there because little girls need to see women in leadership roles, right? Out front, being big. We're told as little girls to be small, be quiet, just sit in the, do your thing, be in this little box.
Right.
When you see another woman out there being big and dancing around and getting the crowd hyped and just being who they are, it shows them that they can do it too. And whether it's in show business, whether it's in school or in other roles, it shows them that, hey, I can do that too. And that's my thing. And even going down the street this year, especially with Wicked being so big,
Right.
I can't tell you how many times even in the past couple of years, get stopped by little girls along the way, and they tell me, "We've been waiting for you this whole time." And that's what it's all about.
And you can take that throughout the year when you on jobs and stuff like that.
Oh
So,
yes. For parades, they're looking for me that way, and it's like I just make sure I make eye contact with them, show them that, hey, you can do. I'm going to see you out here one day. Just let them know that, hey, you can do this too. I'm not anything special.
Yeah.
And I think our hobby, in the general sense, there's a thought that there's no females,
Right.
and 90% of the bands have females playing members now, and that's huge. It's
Right.
a big thing.
It's big. It's big especially, just playing and being involved and growing the hobby itself. And it's, some choose to not be, and that's okay too. I'm not mad at that. It's like any other organization.
You got to be you.
Yeah, and I can't speak to any other bands, but I could speak to what we are, and we are an inclusive band, and we accept everyone, and it's kind of like, doesn't matter. It's just leave, like, I'm gonna get a mat. Leave your ego at the door. Like, you walk in, and let's just have a good time in here. Like, everyone has work stress, family stress, whatever it is. Leave that out there, come in, play some music, have a good time. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and I say the same thing to people when they come up. Oh, what's it take to join? I go, you just got to want to have fun and be happy. If you're going to be miserable and nasty, don't come.
Don't come.
Oh, yeah.
Stay home. I don't want you here if you're miserable and nasty.
Right.
Because we're here to have fun.
Right.
And that's the whole goal. And I don't care. It don't make a difference who you are.
Right.
When we had one of our marshals this year, she just started picking up the band. She just picked up the banjo.
that.
She goes to my mom and goes, why is there no female banjo players? And my mom goes to him, because we haven't had a female come in and want to play banjo.
Right.
She goes, well, can I play banjo? And my mom goes, can you? She goes, well, I'll learn. I'm like, well, then come on out.
Exactly.
You know?
Yep. Doesn't matter. Like,
It don't make one difference to me.
Right. And it's good. And then you see it like on the street, when you're out on the street, the girls see that and they're like, oh, they play banjo too. I can do it too. And that leads it to, going down the line with that. So it's pretty cool.
I mean, you're with Hegeman, which is, it's an older band. You guys have been around for a very, very long time.
Does it
100
feel,
and almost 105 years.
105?
Will
Good.
be in November. So
Okay.
yeah.
now, does it feel like an old band?
Yes and no. Yes and no. We have, we look at the walls, we have like John Pignotti's jacket up on the wall. We have things around that give tribute to it, but the band itself has a lot of new energy to it. And if anyone has walked through the doors of Hegeman in the last, 4 months, 5 months, have totally seen a change and how positive and vibrant we're going, and a new, fresh energy coming in Hegeman.
Yeah, I mean, we were there. That's when I asked you to come on for your little open house you had there, and everybody in there is happy and having a good time, and
Exactly.
it's good to see, because we're in a struggling band kind of area right here at the bottom of the parade.
Right.
So it's good to see that. It's nice to see that. It's refreshing, especially being on a street where it's like you got some of the big
Heavy
big
hitters.
names on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You're in between the top 5, literally.
Right. Yeah, you're there and you see them come down the street, and you're just like, we're going to get there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not there yet.
Yeah,
That's all.
The guys that have carrying water is enough to fill your band.
Exactly.
yeah.
We're in the same boat. It's just like, all right, listen, we got 150 members, but only like 50 of them play. I'm like, come on, really?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, what we have is a really great team and a great heart to it. And
Yes.
that like attracts like, so we're only growing from it too. And you attract what you are. And that's what's starting to come in through our doors. Like, people that just want to be a part of this hobby and just have, even if they haven't played an instrument, they're like, I'm learning for next year. I'm like, great.
Yeah.
Hop on in.
I mean, we get it all the time with people going, oh, I want to join up, but I don't play an instrument. I go, okay, good, come join.
Yep.
You don't have to play an instrument. It takes an army to do what we do.
Oh, I mean, marshals alone are so important.
Yes.
Like, they are the most important part of the parade. And just look, even this year, look at the winds. Like, you need just marshals, just extra hands holding things up.
Yeah.
And then it takes some of the playing members to hold the props or whatever, and
Right. Shoot a confetti off.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that
It's fun though.
Right.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
change it for anything.
No.
This is a lot of fun. So.
It's really cool to create something from essentially nothing. Like, right now, we're in the ideas form now, like, what path are we going to take, which route, like, how do we want to frame the show? And people are like, oh, it's so much work. It is, but it's not. It's work, but is it fun? Like, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean this is the like January for me is the most depressing month of the year because I mean at that point your body's in full use of going nonstop 24 hours a day for the last 6 weeks, and then like, all right, I need a day to recover, and then like you wake up on the third and it's just like, what? I'm not going to storage today. I'm not working on props.
Right.
I don't have to call the costumer and find out where my suit is. What am I doing today? It's just, it's like January is just like, okay, I'm bored. What am I doing? And then we get like, okay, let's go. And then you're like really pushing, and then
themes were submitted.
You got your theme you wanted, or at least we did, and then we go forward from there.
Right. See, went smooth as far as I know. Anyway.
Oh, that was a great day.
At least for us.
Right.
That was a great day.
It was a great day. I had a blast too.
Yeah, it was good.
It was nice walking in, knowing we were either going 13th or 14th, and
right.
it was easy enough. I'm not looking forward to being out there for 24 hours on January 1st.
I know it's gonna be a long day. Yeah.
Because my day's still. I don't sleep New Year's Eve, and even when I get a chance to sleep, I don't sleep. So I got more sleep this year than last year.
Yeah, but
I went from 20 minutes to 4 hours. That's okay. I can do 4 hours.
still stuff we had to deal with. But anyhow, that's
that's everything.
Get your beauty rest back.
yeah, the beauty rest with the cucumbers on the eyes.
Yep, cucumbers, a little bit.
I put cucumbers on my eye. My
You need
cat will
your-
be eating it
He'll
off.
eat it. He'll eat it.
No, the cat will become trying to lick it off my face. I'm like missing an eye.
But you don't have like a green room to get ready and all everything.
That's how we came up with this room afterwards.
Oh, yeah?
Because after we got back, and I was talking to the fire, hey, come
2
with me,
years
Pat.
ago.
Let me show you this. After we got back from the pirate year, here you could have came up here. There's a shower back there. You could have got changed.
Could have. Didn't
I'm
tell
like,
us.
yeah, well, I would have came up here and fell asleep in one of these chairs and then just told everybody come wake me up before the bus leaves.
Nice. Now, do you guys parade here afterwards too, or do you guys play back here?
Yes, yeah, we
That's
line
pretty
up right out in front of the fire hall there between here and the ice cream place, and then we pick up and go from there. 2 years ago, they picked us up down by there's a shopping center around the corner from here that they picked us up and they gave us an escort in, and we rode the buses in. This year, there's a little veteran memorial right on the other side of the railroad tracks, and we got out and we marched from there back to here.
That's awesome, and
So-
that's how you get like the kids involved. I mean,
yeah.
honestly, really, that's how I really got involved was South Jersey Palmyra would play in Berlin,
Okay.
and we would watch on TV, and then we would go to Berlin, and I remember walking next to my dad and my mom, and my sister was on my dad's shoulders, and we marched next to the band, and those are the things that start it to roll and to get people involved in the hobby. That's pretty cool that you guys do that.
Yeah, I mean, and I remember as a kid, Broomall used to parade around in we would be in National Park, and we would watch the parade there, and then go out and see Broomall come by, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Not how I got involved with Broomall, but it was still something cool to look forward to. Like,
Yeah.
wow, we just watched them on TV, and now they're there. And
Exactly.
I'm like, I don't know, I had to be 5 or 6, I had to be young, but I remember doing that, and
Yep.
it was so cool.
It's nice because I mean, obviously, 2 Street, you have all you guys and all the bands, but like with us, I don't know if Durning does anything, but like we're the only ones here,
Right.
Yeah.
so we're the party.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's neat to come off the bus and you see the out front packs, the firefighters all out there, having a good
Oh, yeah,
time.
the
and
firefighters are having a ball. All the crowds are just filling the whole area up. We block the street off, and they block the street off, and we just take over out front. And
yeah, so like where you
run a routine. And
where you
all-
walked in today, that's you can't move right there.
Oh, really?
It's jam packed.
Yeah, they're
that whole section
that whole
there.
section up, and people get up on there. All in front of the fire bay doors are all blocked.
Right. That's great. And you
So-
know what?
That's the community coming out too, doing that.
And they do not care what place you got in.
No, they don't care.
No, and I
Every
love
one of
that.
them- every one of them. Oh, we
I
got you
love that.
beating him. We got you beating them. You were so much better than
Right.
them. And
And it's just like, at the end of the day, you care, but who cares? At
Yeah.
this end of the day, like, for an imaginary prize. Really, if you think about it.
We each
trophy.
got the same amount of money as South Lane Quaker this year.
Right. Right. So it's like you do it like it's for like that's the cool part to seeing like families coming out, and now they have a tradition to see you guys. That's why we went down 2nd Street this year, and a lot of times it gets jammed up, but we were early enough where we were able to go down. And especially for the newer members, they're like, that was the coolest thing to go down 2nd Street.
Yeah.
People coming out cheering. I mean, of course, singing Defying Gravity, with me along the way. Even if we weren't playing it, they were singing it. So it was great.
Yeah. No, we even did that with Broomall. We did that, and that was a lot of fun. And we even did that. God, remember that? That was the year that it was like 7 degrees out. I was in the full captain suit. We got off back at National Park, and
I was at 2018.
Yeah, we still got off in National Park, and we paraded, and we still full suit. I put my back piece back on, and we marched down Hessian. And
After being in the bus for a half hour.
everybody was nice and warm.
And we're
at
nice and warm, and then we got to get back out again. Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, that was a ball. So, but I always enjoy that. And I'm out there, just taking pictures with everybody. Everybody wants a picture. Get a picture with.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to have like selfie stations along the route or something where people already know, like, all right, here's pictures, and like here's a spot for just picture spot.
Let me write that down.
Yeah, like have
now that I'm
something.
on the committee, I'll write that down.
Yeah, like little
Social media committee.
social
yes.
media, like something's propped up, like even if it's just like a backdrop, say, hey, someone from the band's gonna stop here, picture if you want it. Something
Perfect location for a sponsor.
exactly.
See?
Now you're thinking.
Yeah.
All right, I'm a text.
Sponsor locations,
TJ,
selfie
yeah, but it-
stations.
Yeah, it's a perfect thing. You just have a little station you get pictures with.
Right.
Handful of pictures.
Anything to use or people to help promote us to be there in person, like FOMO. No, everyone doesn't want to miss out on the like the energy at the parade is so much different than watching on TV.
Oh yeah.
Like you can't even describe it. It's like a totally different level. Like people say, oh, I've just always watched it on TV. I'm like, and you've never been there?
Yeah.
Like get there, and it's just, even if it's 1 year, just come and see the
Because you sit
experience.
there and you watch it, and it's just like, man, it didn't sound like that. It sounded so much better in person. And then, it's just even listening to it and just seeing it, it's just, it's
Especially
it's
that
night and
first
day.
corner after the judges. You come around and you're at the intersection there.
Oh, there's so many
yeah.
people
That's-
so psyched.
That's from the street to the buildings.
Right.
That's it's packed right there, and
Right.
they're cheering and they're having a good time. And
it's the one time, other than let's say the Eagles parade, right? It's the one time the whole city is like happy and is there for each other, and it's really good vibes pretty much the whole way.
Yeah. No, it's great. And we sat there right at the intersection, right there at Broad, and we played 3 or 4 songs right there before we got a chance to move in the Union League, and that was a ball. I had fun. And one of the posts that I saw after New Year's that I was looking through, we had so many people comment about how the first 4 bands all played going all the way
Right.
down the street.
Oh, we did,
They
yeah.
loved it. We had a ball.
We did.
It was a lot of fun. I mean, we played. It was funny because our music director is young. He's a sophomore at Kingsway, and he's his parents like, hey, try not to kill the band.
But if you think about it, though, it's one of the shortest parades we do. It's only
Yes.
a mile.
Yeah, I know, but that's after we just ran a marathon.
I know.
For 4.5 minutes,
This is true.
and we've been stressed out. We've been stressed out for the last
not
48
sleeping.
hours. Yeah, not sleeping, not thinking.
20 minutes of sleep
Yeah. So yes, no, that was
in the wind.
the wind was
the
brutal.
wind.
Yeah, I was talk about. I've spent like I was painting props. I spent like hours. It was like actually really good. Like our front prop, you can see there's gaps in it because as we were pulling it off the truck, the wind decided to snap it right in half.
Yeah.
And it was black and white, so it was No Place Like Home. This whole skyline of Philadelphia, and then you would flip it around, and what we didn't see was the yellow brick road and all this color that was going to be on this side. Like I spent time putting like arrows, like Shiz University, Scarecrow, all this stuff, and that was there, and it looked great. Nope. right off the truck, ripped it right in half.
I swear the skyline of Philadelphia painted on a mummer's prop is bad luck.
That's what it
Remember
was.
we had that bad luck with the construction theme?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What happened?
We had a backdrop painted completely for the construction. Wind, too. This is a wind problem. I built our backdrops. We had to fit them through the doorway of the old Broomall clubhouse. So it was an odd shaped door. So it was hinged at like 7 feet. So it would come down and go. So
Okay.
it was so windy, we'll leave it down until we get there. So the guy who was in charge of making sure they got all painted put it all together, and we were short marshals. So instead of being each on their individual cart, we bolted 2 or 3 of them together so we had enough marshals to move them. And then we went to go put them up, and the skyline wasn't in the right order. We did not. We had 2 bands in front of us. We didn't have time to revisit. So what ended up happening was we left them. I was originally just going to launch them and not even have them.
Right.
And the one marshal comes over to me and goes, you know, Pat, with them folded down like that, it kind of looks like a construction site. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, you know, it kind of does. Let's just leave it there. That's what it is. That's what it's going to be. So our walls, instead of being up, nice painted, it was all shadow line of the city and
Yeah.
Ben Franklin Bridge. And I just remember putting it up, and Liberty One's here, and the Ben Franklin Bridge is here, and then Ben Franklin Bridge is over here. And I'm just
That's
like,
how it works. And it's so funny, like, speaking of, like, just how quickly things can happen on New Year's Day, too. Like, there's things that you practice and, you know, right before your last drill, you're like, oh, we're cutting this, or that's going, and this is what's going to happen. And that's the way it is. And it's kind of crazy how things like that happen,
Oh,
too.
yeah. There's always adjustments on the street.
It's funny,
Just-
and then no one knows about it. You
No.
know, that
No.
that what you know, we know about it, but
Yeah. But, I mean, you know,
it's just funny how some of those things.
you go back
do
and you look
happen.
at it, and you're like, you know, the walls folded. I see it, and I see what could have been. But it
Oh
is-
yeah, it was beautiful.
it was really, really
Nice
beautiful.
backdrop, and it's
The
a shame.
artist, and I felt so bad because she was furious that we didn't use it.
Ironically enough,
It
the guy who was in charge of it, that was his friend or something.
yeah, she was pissed, which I can
So
understand.
he brought her in to draw it, and it didn't work. It didn't come out because
Oh, man.
It happens, though. You know, I mean, it's a stressful day. He's also trying to put them up, and not like the wind was bad that day. It was really, really bad.
Yep.
And it was just, we were over there right in front of JFK. We're right on JFK, right in front of the Comcast building, and the wind was just, and we just, literally, we're opening them up, and the wind would just try to take the whole prop.
yeah, they were just sails.
And they were
just
sails. So, I mean, figure when we put them up, they were built to be 9/8 or 12/8.
Okay.
They were big.
Yeah, huge.
So all made of wood. They were not, and you know, wood in the two. Yeah, it was.
But-
He's trying to put them up, look at them real quick, and go, yeah, that's right, and put it down, and it just didn't work out.
No, and I wonder how many years that were actually windy, because it has to be a lot of years that were windy
Even
on
when
New
it's
Year's Day.
not windy on New Year's Day, it's
There's-
windy on
yeah.
New Year's Day.
Because we were planning, we were like, especially for Defying Gravity, we're like, we got to hoist me up somehow. Let's hoist it. And I'm like, I was all gung ho for it. I was like, yes, I'm going to be like, we'll rent some. And then we're like, yeah, the wind. No, that's not going to happen. I really don't want to be sideways in front of the judges and just fall right down. Not a good look.
No. That's why I always love it. You know, I still remember the one captain's judge. She, that was that 2018, the year with the wind, and it was cold, and I'm wearing a reverse teardrop back piece, and I come out and I have kicks to do, and the wind is blowing. You can hear in her mic blowing through it as she's saying, you know, you got to be really more confident with those kicks. And I saw her afterwards. We had a symposium. I'm like, you remember when you said that? And I go, yeah, you remember how windy and cold it was? Oh, yeah. Just so you know, from my shoulder to where the feathers start was 4 feet.
You're like a parachute.
I go, I lifted my leg up until I felt I could not, make sure I wasn't
Fall
going to
back.
fall.
Oh,
And she goes,
Should've felt that.
I never thought of that.
Right. Right.
But it
'cause-
was just like, yeah.
You would have made Mummer's bloopers. The video
one
company.
turtle. One turtle, that's it. Is that Ukrainian American?
Oh God,
I don't even know.
know.
I don't know. I wasn't
What a great video. I didn't
wasn't-
realize that
I
was
wasn't-
around.
I wasn't following.
Until last week.
Yeah, we watched it after the association meeting.
But
That was a good 45 minutes.
Surprised there's not even more after all these years.
Oh, no. I think it only came up to the last, I think it's missing the last 30 years.
Right. Yeah. There's got to
It's
be more.
everything before that. So supposedly, my understanding is there is another one being made.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm waiting to see how that comes out. I'm sure I'm in there somewhere. They probably have my first year where I mess up the kick. You can see me mouth something I shouldn't be mouthing.
Yeah. That was what's a baseball year. One of the dancers, she was coming up. I was in the back, ready to come back up, and she's coming up, and she's like, "Oh, F!" like screams it on the street. I'm like, "That's right," coming up, and I think it's the funniest thing.
Yeah.
And I come up, I'm cracking up at it. I'm doing the last little dance, and I'm just laughing at that part.
Yeah, no. That's the one. That's my first year as captain. I have a whole kick routine, and I nailed it every time during rehearsal. And of course, not in front of the judges.
No.
And it's not one of those. It couldn't be one of those things where the captain's the only one doing it. It has to be when I'm in a routine with I'm in sync with the dancers, and I knew it, and I didn't say it. I just mouthed it. But it's out there. It's on the tape. My mom laughs at it. You said a bit. You said no. Well, that's all right, Mom.
We had a pretty good spin move today with that, picking that dancer up and spinning around. Or this year,
Charlotte. Yeah.
yeah, taking them all out.
That's the most athletic you'll ever see him.
Oh, come on. I need to lose weight again. I used to play hockey all the time. Hockey was my sport. So I just got to start losing weight again.
Get on the roller derby. Roller derby's fun.
Yeah,
I used to play.
I did a little bit of that.
You used to
too.
play roller derby?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, for South Jersey, it was Derby Girls at the time. Now South Jersey Roller Derby, and yeah.
What, skate at Defford?
Hmm.
I remember that. That's where I used to hang out.
Denver skating rink?
Defford Skating, and then we had a warehouse
We grew
right
up.
next to Champagne nightclub. There used to be a warehouse there where we had a bank track, and like it was like old school. Like there's beer bottles
I
going,
remember them.
rattling.
I remember them practicing there
Yep.
at Defford.
We grew up. We grew up at.
I grew up there.
Yeah, our dad
I
was.
repped hockey there. My dad, yeah.
Our dad was manager there for 16 years. That's our first jobs at the skating rink.
Oh, nice.
But I used to come in there on Monday. You guys used to practice on Monday nights, and I would come in there and ref hockey after you guys were done practice.
Yep. And that was crazy because hockey was so late because we were done practice at like
Yeah, we would start
10 o'clock.
Yeah, we would start like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Yeah, we would start and go to 1, 2 in the morning, and then I get up, go to work like I still do. And
That's why I'm mad they don't allow roller skates on New Year's. I'd totally be skating.
yeah.
Not
You
any real
laugh.
ones. It's the city
There was
thing, though.
there was a longest
I didn't
time.
laugh.
There was a longest time where I was on my skates more than I was on my feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people are like that. Could skate better too than they could walk.
Yeah. Better balance.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You balance yourself on an 80 millimeter wheel, and you'll be fine. But God forbid you take a step with your regular foot. So
Yeah. So Mommer roller derby right after the wiffle ball tournament. Everyone's gonna be so mad at each other that we're just gonna go take our bats and.
that'd even be funny. That'd even be funnier because half of them are lit beyond belief at that point.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. There would have to be some sort of like limit or something, right?
Right.
And then obviously a skating rink that would allow it.
Right. And then we'd have to make sure that we had a rule if there was a tie for first.
The one who's bleeding on the ground is
Right,
the one who
right.
lost. Ow, my arm. Your arm's not supposed to bend backwards like that.
Right.
Like a game of chicken.
You just come at each other.
Run one side of the rink to the other.
We just solved it. That's how you break the tie.
There you go.
You take both of the top bands and just have them come after each other on skates, because four wheels are a great equalizer, and they just attack each other.
Oh, no, inlines. You got to do inlines.
Oh, inlines. Oh.
I played hockey. What do you want from me?
I don't think I could.
Quads.
I did
quads all
I
day.
did quads. I did quads. I did artistic skating. I did all that.
You did artistic skating.
Yeah. When
I gotta see a picture of this.
Little. Like 5, 6 years old.
There's probably pictures somewhere.
Oh, we got.
Yes,
we
my
got.
mom.
We got to put this in the podcast.
Yeah, it's my mom. I'm sure she
skating.
has them. So. No, we did it.
I didn't do that.
I did.
I didn't do that.
I was skating. That was when Tara Lipinski was still in Defford.
Oh yeah.
I'm old. That's what happens when you're born in 1980.
Before she took out the knee.
No, wrong person.
Oh,
Kerrigan or
no,
Nancy?
that was Nancy Kerrigan.
Yeah.
Or no?
Her knee. Well, who was the one?
Tara Lipinski was the one who won.
Oh no, she was a really, really good one. Yeah.
The blonde chick.
Yeah.
What's her name?
She's like 4 foot, like
Yeah.
4 foot 11 or something.
Yeah,
like
she was a
But
Tanya Harding.
Tanya Harding.
Harding.
Yeah.
That's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
different,
she was.
yeah.
I was going to say I didn't think
And
she was
then
from around.
No.
And then remember she went on these like reality shows all of a sudden, like in the early
wrestling.
2000s and stuff like that.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen, if you can make the money and go for it, go for it.
Yeah, because she was doing like UFC stuff or boxing or something like that. She was
Yeah.
fighting.
Celebrity boxing.
Celebrity, that's what it was. Yeah. Well, that's another way we can break the
I was just
tie.
about to say.
Have the captain's box.
Denny and Jimmy couldn't.
I don't know there.
We're solving problems.
We're solving, all the problems right here.
Yeah, I don't think Sam's gonna like that one.
No, I don't think. Yeah, I don't.
We
think.
could sell some tickets though. It'd be a great fundraiser. We could definitely do some fundraising on that.
We'll just have
Yeah.
like at the luau, just have a sparring ring or something. Then
Well, you know what they're going to talk. Say mud wrestling. And guess who's going to be involved? I know how mummers work.
yeah. In that case, they'd have Jello shots.
Oh, yeah.
Jello
wrestling.
wrestling.
All right. You're gonna get in the Jello. The first one that comes up with the first prize wins.
Right.
First prize.
Find the ring. Good luck.
Find the trophy. I don't know.
Put a little trophy in a little Easter egg and stick it in there.
Okay.
All right.
Let's get back to you, Kelly.
Don't talk about me.
No, we just got done doing mud wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
All right. That's probably a good
Good segue.
stopping point of that conversation.
Get us steer the ship back to where we're supposed to be.
Oh, you want to talk about your physical therapy?
Sure.
Yeah, good.
So I have a practice called Sisu Physical Therapy. It is in Washington Township, so not too far from here. I'm actually just running from here. And we treat active people. So we're motivated movers that come see me. So we treat everything from people that are running their first 5K to people that have run their 10th marathon to everyone in between. People just want to exercise, which also points out that a lot of people don't realize that being a mummer and in the string bands particularly,
Your legs.
it's an active hobby, like for sure. Like I started like a small within our band, Mummers on the Move, doing some exercises with people on the band just to get them, just thinking about movement. It doesn't have to be anything in particular, but like strengthening, exercising, and how important it is for longevity. And even like, think about this, a lot of the other musicians, they're literally blowing through an instrument, walking up a hill in the wind, and they have to do this for a mile,
That's
2
an
miles
exercise in itself, yeah.
Yeah.
alone. So you have to train above that. So
And you're exercising more than just your body. You're exercising your lungs at the same time.
Exactly.
So it's a full body exercise.
Which is so important. And if you think about, like, look at just how New Year's Day has evolved over the years. Like, the bands are moving. Like, you're not just standing there doing little moves. Like, you're moving around. And
there's a lot of awkward movements too.
Awkward.
Yeah.
With awkward suits. Awkward, if you have a back piece, if you don't have, and now these, masks and these where you're not even seeing things anymore. And it's so important. to incorporate movement throughout whether you're playing or not and train above that. So going back to physical therapy itself, so we do treat someone with an injury. I do help them, but then I also help them beyond it. So if they want to keep moving afterwards, and I keep in check with them, like I have a strength training program right now for runners going on. I have different things coming up throughout the year. So yeah, so it's pretty much a health and wellness type thing.
How'd you get into that?
So I was an athlete growing up. So I played basketball was my main sport. Believe it or not, I'm not super tall, but I figured, I played basketball, softball. I played soccer for a year. And then I just got into sports and athletic training, and I didn't want to get up at 4 a.m. with the track team.
And then let me, figure this out.
And that's like the story of most physical therapists. It's like, oh, I got hurt. And I'm like, oh, this looks pretty cool. They're just like talking to people all day and stretching them.
All they're doing is working out all day.
Yeah.
They're getting paid for it.
Right. But no, mine was a little bit different. It was, I was working actually at Timber Creek, the athletic trainer there. I went to go observe him, and he kept talking about physical therapy. And I'm like, I gotta look into this. And I did. And then I switched my major freshman year at Temple and went to PT, and I loved it ever since. And it's just helping people without medicine, without surgery, without injections, like helping with their own body get better, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's rewarding too, right?
Oh, super rewarding. Super rewarding, especially, I thought I wanted to work with athletes. I was like, I want to work with athletes and professional athletes. But no, I love working with the average Joe, the average person that just wants to get better for themselves and for their family and just keep up with their kids. That's the heart of it all. And it's like just getting them better and moving. And that's why I love, and that's why it kind of incorporates into with the string bands too. It's like, I feel like being a part of a string band is like being in a sport too. You have a team you're working with, you're moving, you have a common goal, and you're working toward that together. So I think playing on sports, being fitness and mummers, there's a relation between that I think a lot of people don't see.
Yeah, I mean, what we do in parades and stuff like that is taxing on our bodies. It's hard on our bodies. Even and like New Year's Day, it's more for us. Even like 40 degrees for me is perfect on New Year's Day, because I think that's you're not overheating yourself, but you're not like stressing your body out to that point. But like, we get to that luau in June, captains put those suits on.
Oh, it was hot.
They don't breathe. No. And the worst, the nice part of the fun part for me on that day last year was we did a parade in the morning. So,
oh yeah, you guys did.
So we did a parade in the morning, and then we came down to the luau. I put my suit back on, and it was still wet, and I was not happy.
No,
because it basically at that point just steamed you to death.
Right, and
there's no breathing.
And it's a heavy suit. You're moving, and you can see why people have had heart attacks. Unfortunately, even on New Year's Day, because your body doesn't know the difference between physical stress and mental stress too. No. So you have mental stress all build up. Now we're piling on physical stress to it, and of course we're going to have something.
You're stressing your body out to the worst it can be. And you got to hope to be in your best condition.
Right. And then this year was the first year this is my third year captain. The other 2 years I was sick as a dog. As off the street. And the thing I did differently this year was building up to New Year's. I was taking breaks, forcing myself, because it's hard. As you know, it's hard to take a break. Mm-hmm. It's hard to step back even for an hour or two or for a day and be like, oh, no, I'm not dealing with this today. Tomorrow, do some meditation, do all that, and just bring my cortisol levels down. And I'm telling you, it helped. And it was the first year I wasn't sick on New Year's Day. And the other two, I was just from being stressed and, putting everything together.
It takes a little bit to figure that out.
Yeah.
Go back to being hot in these suits, hydration is
key.
Key. It's big.
And it's Miller not Lights don't count.
No. Yes.
No.
There's water.
Even though
there's water.
No, but like one thing that one thing we implemented a long time ago, even when we were back with Broomall, and it's something that I noticed that we were doing, is we had the full bottles of water. We were giving everybody full bottles of water. People would take 2-3 drinks, stick it in their back pocket.
Right.
And then never drink from again. So what we started to go to was the
little pods,
little 6-ounce, little 8-ounce
yep.
bottles.
Yeah, but if you're not hydrating yourself days before,
No, you have to hydrate.
It's
Yeah,
not-
and I agree with you there.
and it's not soda, it's not
And
iced tea.
And I always remind everybody that you need to drink no alcohol the day before. We're getting in the summertime. Even like 4th of
Right.
July, where we're not in suits, no alcohol. You want to drink? Wait till after the parade, and we get the stuff in you, get the liquids in you. I know Pedialyte is one thing that we always have, but once we want to those
that gets me
smaller
through
bottles,
4th of July. And I feel great, but then I see people falling out. I'm like, you didn't hydrate.
yeah, you didn't.
I feel fine out here.
You got to
Yeah.
precondition yourself. You got to
do.
know, and being in sports, I knew how to I was a goalie in hockey for a long time. I had a precondition because I was used to being hot.
Right.
So
To give a perspective too, so I wear this Whoop. It's like a heart rate monitor. I've been
know
wearing
exactly
it
what it is.
for
Yep.
like 4 years now, and I had it on the last. So I ran a marathon in last October, not this past October, last October. So the score is like 21's like the highest you're going to get on your strain. Don't you know both last New Year's and this one was pretty close. It's the same amount of stress on my body as running a marathon. It's New
Wow.
Year's Day. Isn't that crazy? And it's like, and that just to put that in perspective. And then also even talk about 4th of July. So 4th of July, my Whoop registered me because we did 3 parades as doing 3 CrossFit workouts. That day. It was like CrossFit workout detected. I'm like, I don't do CrossFit. I was like, oh, the parades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it shows you.
It's amazing. It's,
I'd gotten one of them because I used to work overnights, but we'd move heavy boxes, and I was just curious about what I was looking like. And I got one. I had one for about 6 months, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me! I can't even believe
Yeah.
that, like you said, the strain and all that. I can't even believe because it gives you all everything you need to know, basically.
Oh, yeah, if you like data, I love data. So I
Yeah.
look at it, every little thing. When's the last time I had caffeine? All this stuff. Do I like take it with a grain of salt though?
Right.
I'm like looking at it, I'm like, all right, just because I'm in the red or in 12%, I'm still going to do what I need to do today. But
Yeah.
yeah.
But it gives you a good base of where you are and what you might need to be.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, Mummers on the move. I got to start that back up again. Have people an exercise program to
Yeah.
keep everyone, even just get together in a park,
Yeah.
do some things and then go hang out after
To the bar.
to the bar after.
All right. Well, we're kind of dwindling down
Yeah.
now, but I there's a couple of things here. Talk about your 26th show. Just kind of give you a little. Obviously, you're not going to tell me
Just
what you're, but like
generics, 'cause we-
generics.
Yeah, so we're doing a Las Vegas theme. So Hegeman takes on Las Vegas essentially. And the generic idea is pretty much just to have a good time, a night in Vegas. And also we chose this theme too to have it incorporated, throughout the year into different parties. So we'll have,
Okay.
to be honest,
Yeah.
like the theme itself will be fun on New Year's Day, but for throughout the year, we're going to have different events throughout the clubhouse,
Okay.
Vegas related events. And that's the main thing for it. So it'll be fun. It'll be a lot more pizzazz, I guess, that we had in the last couple years, and hoping to build on that.
Something different.
Something different. Yeah.
Challenging.
Yeah. So definitely we're challenging ourselves. And that goes to like, we only compete with ourselves, right? Because,
Yeah.
going back to sports, like you can play football and play defense on another team. You can play basketball, you play defense. When you're doing something like this, you're scored only for yourself. Like I can't play defense against you guys and change anything anyone else is doing. I can only change what we're doing. So that's what we're challenging ourselves to try to get better each year and next year. And we're only, comparing ourselves to ourselves.
Yeah. The closest thing this even comes to is like qualifying for an event.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter whether it's track and field or racing or whatever. You can only put what you can do.
Exactly.
And what you put out is what you put out. You're not directly like, it's not like, well, they threw 500 yards. I need to throw 501,
Right.
It doesn't matter because you don't know what you got until afterwards.
Exactly. And make it make sense too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it has to make sense. It has to be, and you have to concentrate on your show
Mm-hmm.
because if you can't, you try worrying about what everybody else is doing, you're not going to be able to figure out. You're not going to be able to execute what you need to do.
No, yeah. So this year, Vegas, you might see some pop-ups of just some. We're talking about some fun things to add to it, like.
Listen, we did a casino theme 2 years ago. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That was,
that's right. I remember that.
That was so much fun with that theme, and
It was my theme.
yes, that was your theme. Yes, yeah. So that
That's
was a lot
good.
of fun. It was. The suits were amazing that we did, and tuxedo style suits and stuff like that,
And I
and
noticed
playing the cards into
Yeah.
playing cards into it. And
you can do so much with it. And then also, I noticed this year we had a lot of other, like, being what's it, the 250th anniversary of the country.
Yeah.
coming up 26.
Yeah, so it's kind of like you see a lot of Americana across the board of different things. Like
Yeah.
we're doing
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Vegas,
Mhm.
you guys are doing the 50s.
50s.
So it's kind of cool to see different aspects of it. We have Hollywood, all this different American type
Yeah.
themes going on. And it's pretty neat to see that was what appeared not so much dead. So
Yeah.
Hopefully the dead stays dead. Please.
That's one of the fun things about New Year's is to see the themes and then to see them what the bands do.
right.
And,
Because you have
and
like you're like, oh, if I was doing that, I would do this, this, and this, and you go watch, like, damn, they didn't do any of that.
No.
You know?
Like even
Well,
like
and-
now when you're developing now, we have this umbrella. We're like, we could do this, 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 and it's just like, all right, in reality, what can we do? And let's narrow it down
Yeah.
to, you know,
Yeah. I mean, there's so many themes out there that you can do, and
like a tiger in the bathtub coming out from what's that movie?
Hangover.
Hangover. Yeah.
have Mike Tyson knock somebody
Yeah.
out.
Exactly. But yeah, it'll be fun this year. So looking forward to it. Another fun one in the book. So coming up.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. We're excited for our theme too. I mean that the 50s theme is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, figure like Happy Days meet Grease.
That's great, yeah.
Just kind of have fun with it and go from there.
And music people know.
Yeah.
They're gonna hear it, like say, "Oh, I know the song," and you could dance to it along the street with it. That'll be a lot of fun too.
Yeah, and getting back to what you said earlier, get the new people in the door. If you have something that's fun and they can have fun with it,
They can relate to it.
they can relate to it,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to come back to have more fun.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you have something that's all serious, no, we got to make sure we're doing this, and we got to, you got to be like, no, that's not fun.
Right. That's why we went. Yeah, exactly. That's why we went with our route with Wicked too. It was Wicked, but it wasn't like everyone was asking, "Where's Glinda?" I'm like, there wasn't. Sorry, not in our version.
No.
It's like it was like we talked about it. We're like, then it's too confusing. Who's captain? Who's not? And it was just like we talked about split suit, all that stuff, and we're like, nope, just keep it simple and keep it understandable. And it was actually
You just did half of the first movie.
yeah, exactly.
So a couple years from now, you can do that. No.
Right.
Now you
We
do
thought
it.
of we were throwing that around doing Wicked
You
2
did
next
fire
year.
now you can do ice next. Yeah.
We're gonna do Wicked 2 next year,
It's a
and then
concept.
save all the suits and just redo everything.
Yes. Everybody change suits.
Everyone.
Hand your suit to them. They're
Yep.
gonna get this suit.
Yep. Good and green.
Yeah. There you go.
Finally, you guys have in the past couple of years here have been growing and kind of switching, changing things out. Obviously, with new members this year, where do you see Hegeman 2 to 5 years from now? And what would you like it to look like? Obviously,
What we have all been working together pretty like consistently of having number one fun along the whole route. Like Hegeman's growing, and we're gonna be here for what? Like we were on the cusp, but like we can't lose another band, right? We got to keep it alive. So we're doing everything we can to keep it alive. So it's like having these fun events. So in 2 to 5 years, to be a thriving band, we're actually competing, respectable. I mean, honestly, we have 14 bands. So every band's pretty much a top band at this point.
Yeah.
And the competition level is going up. So it's like, what can we do to make it where we're competitive, but still having fun with it and not losing that aspect and continuing to get new people into the hobby and growing too and being part of the family, because you guys know it's a family.
right?
So it's being a part of that family and growing that family, and in 2 to 5 years to keep it growing.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's all. I love that. That's awesome because, I mean, that's really one of the reasons why we're here is because we want to keep going.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we had a family-owned band that wanted to retire, and after 89 years, they had every right to do that, and we just weren't ready.
Right.
And we've seen. I mean, we've since then we've seen what three bands.
Yeah.
Disappear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
It
can't happen again.
No, we can't let it happen again.
Can't let it happen again.
No.
I hope we get back up to 15 and then maybe up to 16.
Right.
but-
I would love like another
That'd be
band to come on, you know, and doing what like you guys too. It's so respectful to come from essentially what you came from and have, you know, start from scratch pretty much again and build back up. And that's, people don't realize how hard that is to do.
Oh, yeah.
And over time, it doesn't just happen overnight.
No, and it's a struggle, especially with not knowing how to do everything.
Right.
You have no clue what you're doing. You're just going, this feels right. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah.
You know?
And it would help for us, and it sounds like it's helping for you. Is that we had that base,
Yeah.
and
Right.
that support that was already from Broomall.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the core group of members moved over with us, and we all went to do it together.
And
That's awesome to even. That's
keeping it going.
Yeah.
And because we have to keep the music and arts alive, we have to. Like, there's so much out there that it's fading in the schools, and that's the hard part is getting people involved because they're closing these programs down and just keeping it going because, like we talked about earlier, like at the end of the day, you have all these stressors in life. You need an outlet, and this is an outlet for people to come play and create and develop a 4.5-minute show. But how it looks like over the year where you have family and I've gone to more weddings and funerals, you know, since joining. So that's what it's all about.
Yep. So,
all right, Kelly. Yeah, thank you for coming out
Thank you for
again.
coming
Thank you, Alex and Pat.
and
Thank you
joining
so
and-
much for having me on. And
yep. And good luck this year.
thanks,
Yeah.
you too.
Good luck.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you guys
absolutely.
need anything, let me know.
If you need anything, let us know because I still have some
Teamwork.
stuff left over from a casino year that we could always unload.
Yeah, like I said, rising tide raises all ships.
Yes.
There you go.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, Kelliann Gallagher. Thank you very much. Bye bye.